which of the following expressions is f of g of x? So we're going to take g and put it in for f, right? So insert it here. So we're going to have x minus 3, and that's going to be squared. So we'll say this one's red, squared, plus 1. So now we're going to go FOIL it out. So we have x minus 3 times x minus 3 plus 1. That's going to be first, outer, inner, last. X squared minus 3x minus 3x plus 9 plus 1. X squared minus 6x plus 10. Just combining my like terms. And there's our answer, actually. So your answer is B. Given that this equation is true, what is x divided by y? So let's just work this out by, let's cross multiply first. So we're just going to go cross multiply, and we get 8x minus 2y equals 5x plus 5y. Let's add 2y to both sides. Now I get 8x equals 5x plus 7y. Subtract 5x from both sides. I get 3x equals, that's a terrible 3. Let's try that again. 3x equals 7y. So let's divide my 3 out. And I get x equals 7y divided by 3. And then let's divide both sides by y. So then I get x divided by y equals 7 over 3, which is the answer I want. X divided by y equals 7 over 3. So H. So Jaro traveled to 3 locations during a workday. He remained at each location a whole number of hours. The graph below shows the relationship between time, hours, and workday and distance. Which of the following is closest to his average speed? So we're going to use a distance, rate, time pyramid here because we want to know his average speed or his rate. So let's fill in with the others. So we know the distance he traveled is 450. So we can put 450 in for the distance. Remember, we're looking for rate. For time, we're only going to travel the time he was moving. So here and here and here. So that's 2 hours plus another 2 hours plus another 2 hours. So he's traveling for 6 hours. So 450 divided by 6 will give us his total rate in kilometers per hour, and 450 divided by 6 equals 75. So your answer has to be D. So in a sine function, y equals 3 sine of x. What's the amplitude? That just means how far it goes up. What's the amplitude there? So 3. Gee, that's just a knowledge question. You probably either know it or don't. It's a quick answer or it's a guess. You could get a common denominator on this one. Which of the following expressions is equivalent to this? Or you could just say, well, let me just quickly plug in. Let's make w equal 2. If we do that, we'd have 4 over 2 plus 2 over 2 squared, which is 4. Get a common denominator, and we would have 8 over 4 plus 2 over 4, which equals 10 over 4. And now we can just quickly plug 2 in and see, well, which one's going to equal 10 over 4? So probably not going to be E, probably not going to be C, because those both don't give you 4 if you plugged in 2. So if we did choice A, we'd have 2 squared on the bottom, 4, plus 2 times 4 is 2, so it'd be 5 over 4. No, yeah, 5 over 4, which would not be correct. And then choice B, we would have 2 times 4 is 8, plus 2 equal over 4 equals 10 over 4. So there's our answer. The answer has to be B. Probably fastest to plug in for that one. Let A, B, and C represent the digits in the hundreds, tens, and one place, respectively, so in order. So A, B, C, could be like just 100, of a certain 3-digit number. Let D, E, and F represent the digits in the hundreds, tens, and ones place of a different 3-digit number. So D, E, F. The positive difference between the two numbers is greater than 100. So the difference between the two numbers, so if we subtract the two numbers, it's greater than 100. So ABC minus DEF has to be 100. Which of the following has to be true? I guess we do this the other way around too, actually. Whoops, let's change that color. I had the wrong color there. DEF minus ABC, because it doesn't tell us which one has to come first, is greater than 100. So which one has to be true? So A minus D, that would be A minus D. The absolute value of A minus D is greater than 1. Yeah, because that's the 100 place. So it would be like saying the absolute value, doesn't matter what 100 it is. So let's say ABC is 500 and DEF is just 100. So 500 minus 100 is greater than 100. So it's going to have to be F. We can look at the others to be sure. B and E. Now B and E would just be the tens place, right? So that's not going to be greater than 100. C and F, no, that's going to be the ones place. So that one's out too. And this is A minus D, but it's not absolute value, right? You got to remember that it could be in either order, ABC minus DEF or DEF minus ABC. And then B minus E, that's not much difference than choice G, so that's just the tens place again. So F has to be the correct answer. Not a super hard question, just a thinking question. Number line graph includes the points at real numbers A and B as shown below. Which of the following inequalities expresses an interval between A and B? Well, I'm going to say that B looks to me like it's about half, so we're going to say 0.5. And A looks to me like it's about negative 0.75. So between those two. So AB, product of AB, oh, so we're multiplying. So A times B is greater than negative 1 and less than A. So let's do A times B first. Let's do negative 0.75 times 0.5, and we get negative 0.375. Okay, so that means that negative 0.375 is going to be somewhere around here, right? So A is less than A times B, which is less than 0. So it has to be B, I think. A times B is greater than negative 1. That's true, but not less than A. So we know that A is out. A times B is greater than 0. Nope, that's not true. A times B is greater than B. Definitely not true. 1 is less than AB, which is, well, that's 1 is less than A. No, 1 is not less than AB. Negative 1 is, so that one's out. So it has to be B. If you just work this one out and kind of go through process of elimination, you see it. I almost missed it because I almost forgot to do the product. You have to know the product means multiply. Sammy's course in his chemistry class is based on 3 tests. Okay, so 3 tests and 1 final exam. So 1 final exam. Each of his 3 test scores is weighted as 20% of the course grade. So each is 20%. So that means together they're going to be 60%, right? And the final exam was 40%. Sani's 3 test scores are 78, 86, and 82 respectively. What will he have to earn on the final exam in order to get an 86? So let's enter his test scores in. So let's just think we have, out of 100%, we're going to have 10 blanks, each representing 10%. So if he has a 78, we can say, well, that's a 78, and another 78 is 20%. Then 86, 86, 86, and then 82, 82, 82. We have no idea what his exam grade will be. right? But we know that all this total is out of 100% or divided by 10, and we want it to equal at least 86. So now we can just add these together. So put it in greens now. So all this added together is 492 plus 4x, 4x's, divided by, no, let's not even divide by, let's go ahead and multiply that out. Let's say multiply both sides times 10 equals 860, right? So now let's subtract 492 from both sides. We get 4x equals 368. Divide both sides by 4, and we get x equals 92. Now, if you didn't want to go through all this process, right, or if you wanted to double check, you could plug 92 in for each of these grades, add them up, divide by 10, and see that you get 86. So you could plug in the answer for this one if it made more sense to you. So your answer is J. What is the area of triangle ABC in square coordinate units? So area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2, or 1/2 base times height. So our base is here. Okay, so it's got our y coordinates. So it's going to be 4, -2, so that is 6. And then our height is here to here. We're going to use our x coordinates for that one. So we have 2, -1, so that's 3. So base times height is now going to be 6 times 3 divided by 2. So it's going to be 18 divided by 2, and that's going to equal 9. A. For some real number x, so just some random number x, any number, the square root of x squared does not equal x. Therefore, x is. Let's just plug in and see. So if x is 0, the square root of 0 squared should not equal 0, but it does. So that one's out. Greater than pi. Well, okay, any number greater than pi. So let's go with 4. So 4 squared, square root of 4 squared, that is going to equal 4, right? Because 16 square root is 4. So that doesn't work. What about irrational? Let's just go pi. Pi squared equals pi. Square root of pi squared. Well, those cancel out, so pi does equal pi. Ah, but negative. Negative 2 squared is 4, right? Square root. Does that equal -2? No, that equals 2. So 2 does not equal -2. So the answer means it has to be negative. So J.